Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the pistol to give to Jones. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Looking deep for Adams. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Allen now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 50 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think he's shy away totally with the run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're going to look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
To throw, it's Allen. So left side, it's complete. A good pickup there of 22. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Marr is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Short kick. One of the up men will take it now.
Let's go, baby.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway.
Come on, fellas.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Hey, home.
From the 30 on second down, Allen, and he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Complete to number 13. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the 45.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A give running right is Chubb. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Rashawn Gary on the tackle. A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 1.
Slam.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
No.
They do go for it. Here's Allen. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Marr now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case,
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. This is Jones. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's what I'm talking about. That's it, boy.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go, G.
The carry here for the big tight end. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They run it again with Chubb. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Chubb with a carry on 1st down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the 33-yard line.
319.
Focus, defense, focus.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Keep playing.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Let's get it.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 43.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Rock it, rock it. Let's go.
2nd and 10. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Jones. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Touchdown, Packers! Allen Lazard, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Now Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. To throw is Allen. Got an open man. It's Foster. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Watch 16. He likes to go for the sideline. Trips.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And some room to work. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker. Just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's got the hook up to Lazard. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And an alley to run. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now here's a timeout, as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for Green Bay, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem the